Cleary not looking for too much gain from the penalty kick. And Lamb, I thought, knocked on. Manson agrees. And the first scrum of the night will pack almost on the halfway line.
Oh, it's a shame. It was a big chance there for the Roosters to get some good field position. But, I mean, we're going to see plenty.
Scrum win. Andrew Walker probably hasn't been playing at his best, but on a night where the long kick is going to be so important, he's probably as good as anybody in that department. This is a pretty good one from the Roosters.
The in-goal judge, they sneak up into the field of play. That ball's nearly hit him on the head.
He's had a sniff there. He wanted to, I think, take it up or something.
Well, that was tremendous work here by the number 5 for the Newcastle team. Coming back, couldn't play it at the ball. In fact, it's for 2, Mark Hughes, is it? Or Albert? Darren Albert it is, coming back. If he'd have tried to pick that one up, he would have been bundled into touch. He allows it to go over. Oh, that's the new rule, isn't it? Inside the 40s. So tremendous work there from the Roosters.
Particularly in a situation like tonight. Robert Miles, and now left. And every point tonight is going to be so important. You can multiply it by several. As Lamb puts a grubber in on the last, and Robbie O'Davis has put away. So it'll be a line drop out to restart a game. A game effort by Robbie O'Davis as he was hit by the Sydney City defenders.
And now it looks like a mistake from Newcastle. They've tried a short drop kick and it's gone fair dinkum, 1 metre. Must be a strong wind.
So this is a gift, 2 points.
Well, he's done a crusher
for Sydney City. David Manson, of course, can only work on the rule book, and of course the conditions prevailing did not help Newcastle, but I'm sure that you'll find the same set of rules existing tonight as you would on a dry day. Talking of wind, which probably had nothing to do with this situation, but it is very, very strong, Steve, coming from our right down the ground into the face of Newcastle. It's off the boot of Ivan Cleary. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's a very questionable ploy, isn't it, from Newcastle there in these conditions. You look to just get the ball as far away from your try line as humanly possible.
They had men out there too on that 10-metre line. That's one of your best, Rabs. Speaking of wind, let's go to blocker.
His own line. As it goes away for Darren Albert to run into the shoulder of Jason Lowry, and probably has not seen the like of this for quite some time. As this ball goes to ground, and David Manson will put another scrum down.
Well, again, it's Owen Craigie who's lost the football out there. He's been ruled to have knocked on once. This time he passes the football, and the Newcastle belief is that it came off the...
He's really taken a lot of work away from Lamb and Fittler. And again, we see it put down. Brandon Pearson joining Sydney City. So City get the benefit of either the Harrigan mistake or the Manson mistake. It doesn't matter which way we view it. The runs are on the board, and Albert is going to be tackled in goal, but he was able to slip and slide his way out of trouble.
A couple of bad misses there from the Roosters, weren't there? That was a perfect opportunity to keep Albert down there.
And 5 tackles have gone. That's the 10-metre line, just behind Barnhill. And away for Lamb. He's away from Butterfield. Puts a kick in. Almost got the assistance from the upright. O'Davis, well, his forward progress was halted. Then they picked him up, threw him back, and it'll be a line drop out. And you know my feelings on that rule.
A great play there from the Roosters. They're going pretty well. They're throwing the ball around. Plenty of plays around the rucks, and Lamb's kicking game has been pretty good so far. Good defence here. O'Davis did well, but got hammered and forced back.
In a situation like this, nobody can go in with any petrol in the tank. Oh, O'Davis was really snapped up there by Pearson. And Pearson gave him a pat on the head as he ran away. Centre of the ground, good chance for the home side. Trailing 2-0, Johns comes in, and O'Davis knocks on. Which way is Manson going to rule? He's ruled that it went backwards. Well, that could come back to be a very important ruling. The pass floating backwards in the breeze. Intercepted. Rigon, is it? No, it's Pearson. Pearson with a long run ending on the halfway. But didn't Darren Albert pick him up nice and quickly? Walker's pass, badly directed. Picked up Fittler though. Walker's back with it. Down to the 20-metre line, and again Albert makes another tackle. 20-metre line. Cleary leaves it behind him. Fittler with a short ball. And again, I think it's Pearson. 7 metres out from the line. From one end of the park when they look like scoring. And Lamb might do it. No! O'Davis forces the ball. And a sin bin.
Yeah, we've got 10 minutes here for Harrigan.
I'm just wondering if the referee thought about giving a penalty try here, because Lamb put the kick in, then was held back. That's why Harrigan's got 10. Brad Fittler is saying, what about a penalty try to Manson?
No matter how much Paul Harrigan argues, he's not going to change his decision. Robbie O'Davis, he swooped, but there's no doubt that the penalty try was in the offing here. Adrian Lamb realised that there was nobody in behind the second line. Threaded the ball through. And this all came back from some long passes thrown at the other end by Newcastle. An intercept had to be taken at some stage. Eventually, Brandon Pearson was the man who plucked it out. Albert made 2 try-savers.
Let's have a look at what's happened here. This is the intercept at the other end of the ground. That's just after a ruling given about a knock-on that I called on Robbie O'Davis. And according to history, I was wrong, even though I'll be a long time believing it. Now let's watch it. There's the kick.
Yeah, well, look, Adrian Lamb, he'd kicked the ball a long time before Paul Harrigan made this tackle.
Yeah, I'm just watching, though. I'm watching O'Davis in relation to Lamb, and I've got to say you'd be a very brave referee to give a penalty try. Now, there's the kick at goal from right in front. Cleary going for 500 with this kick, and straight between the uprights, he does that. So there's 500 for Cleary, 4 points for the Sydney City Roosters.
I think although Ivan Cleary has made a couple of mistakes down on the ground with the grubber kick going through, maybe Newcastle might be better served now working through.
Now for Lowry. Another of the players that'll be on show next Friday. O'Davis going back for, I think that's Hughes. No, it's Daniel Smales. Now Butterfield, his pass is finished up going through 2 sets of hands, and that was Hughes. Quite incredibly, I don't recall having done more than 1 Newcastle match this year, even though he's had quite a bit of bench time. Now the kick down the ground bounces up for Fletcher. There's a bit of a worry there for Newcastle, but Fletcher got a very good bounce, and now they're back on the 20-metre line.
He also got a bit of propulsion from the Roosters chasers as well. They pushed him towards the football. He get there a little bit quicker, and he's a good player. He's down
on the halfway line as half-time draws even closer to the 1.5-minute marker, and Fittler floating it out for Pearson. Pearson put down, not held, to the 20-metre line, almost. And all the field on the right at their disposal for Garlick. And then Lamb, and a long ball for Walker. He's got Lowry chasing through obediently. O'Davis, confident football, line dropout, and they will take their time, Newcastle, in bringing this across for the kick.
They'll be fairly pleased, as we pointed out. Try or a converted try would undo a lot of the good work in the first 39 minutes.
Lamb had to run a long way before he took that ball. The pass floating forward in the breeze, and Lowry has now put them where they would like to be, and that's where they aimed it for. Fittler then floating for Elsgood. Elsgood's over the line. Well, it's worked beautifully. Fittler got exactly the right pass away, and then Jack Elsgood, aided and abetted by the quagmire, has been able to beat his opposite number again.
And that's the extremity that Paul Vaughton was talking about, that they haven't exploited. You'll see here the winger, I think it's 16, Daniel Smales. He slips over, but I think that Jack Elsgood had him beaten all ends up before he actually lost his footing. He stops, he waits to see what Elsgood is going to do, and with a player of this speed and footwork, he was always going to get beaten. O'Davis coming across to Noah Vale. Great pass from Brad Fittler to open them up. Yeah,
the pass gets the try for the Roosters. In the end, it was 1-on-1. But, you know, in these conditions, it's not hard to miss tackles. And some decoys back on the inside had taken some Newcastle defence out of the way, so there was no cover.
No matter where the breeze is blowing from, they will run into the teeth of it, though, in the second half. Andrew Walker. He was put into the game at around about the 25th minute tonight, Walker. Dinova has to be careful. He gave a pass back there. It might have been very close to forward to the run around. Then Craigie for Cochrane and O'Davis. And O'Davis put down that line. Well, there it is, just outside the 10. And Newcastle with a lot of personnel out to the right. As the kick is put in by Peden. And it's marked in goal by Miles. That'll take it back to the 20-metre point for the restart. A little embrace there from Pearson, congratulating the young winger.
Not a good sign there for Newcastle, with Bill Peden having the football in his hands on the last tackle. It wasn't a bad kick in the end, but Miles diffused it fairly comfortably. If Newcastle are to be a chance in this game, we've got to see the number 7 starting to do some things out there for them. We gave Leo Dinova plenty of raps early in the season when he...
So we're on the halfway line as Lamb angles across. And that is Pearson. Not a lot of opportunity out there really for the centre, Pearson, tonight. Although having said that, one of the better players out there tonight, I think, has been Jack Elsgood. A winger that really has involved himself.
I think Brandon Pearson could have picked this ball up and just played on. He really tried to get a penalty here. There it is. Also, we've got a little bit of a doubt. The benefit of catching the ball in the in-goal area. He may have left the field of play, caught the football and then landed in the in-goal. And that means that it would have been a scrum. A line dropout, sorry.
Adam Muir to the halfway line. We'll go down to Steve Roach in a moment, see what he was able to find out at half-time from the sheds. As Jackson tries to fend away from Fittler, then did well, took the tackle, got a ball away. O'Davis was there, and then Fletcher. The ball goes to Cochrane. That's no knock on. O'Davis is on his way. He's home. He's home singing ragtime. And just that, he's home singing in the rain. O'Davis gets it for Newcastle.
And nobody out there deserves it more than Robbie O'Davis. He's had to do a lot of clean-up work at the other end of the field. But the Knights here, they had a little bit of luck. They put pressure on. That was the incidence with Miles coming back to give the Roosters possession. But in the next set of 6, Newcastle keeping the ball alive. Tremendous offload there from Butterfield. Lee Jackson brushes through Brad Fittler before offloading to Robbie O'Davis. Then on to Fletcher. He pops a pass out. Cochrane kicks it, bounces back off the leg, and Robbie O'Davis has got every right to pick the football up. The only doubt may have been the Troy Fletcher pass as to whether it was a forward one or a back one, but the referee was pretty well positioned.
The bloke who does well here is Cochrane. He probably could have reached down and tried to grab the football. He would have knocked it on, and he just held back and put it on the toe, and then Rockin' Robbie gets it and give us something. A bit of ragtime, Raps. What is it?
Bit of Gene Kelly.
I think it was Gene Kelly, really, singing in the rain with a bit of tap dancing at the same time. And Robbie O'Davis is in to score for the Knights.
Phil Gould, for his Sydney City side, he said the simple things will win us this game. The dummy half running and first to the loose ball, those sort of things will get them on top. He said all hands on deck into the wind, and there's still plenty of work to be done.
That is Craigie, one of their better players. A bustling run, never say die, written right across it. Then for Dinova to go to the air. And he gets a push in the back, but I think it'll go unchecked. And it'll be Sydney City to bring it away from 15 out from their own line after Pearson played it. Elsgood runs it. Fletcher going, looking for runners, but nobody anywhere near him. Cochrane ducks into acting half before using Muir. And Adam is tackled on the 20-metre line. And a penalty goes to Newcastle for stealing the ball against the Roosters. Will they take the kick and level the score?
Well, they'll definitely take the kick. If Dinova kicks it like he did the first one, it will be all level. But now the Roosters are experiencing what the Knights had to contend with for most of the first half. Tough yards coming out of their own area. This is Muir taking the ball forward. Matt Singh is going to be the man penalised. Well, I don't think he's played at the football. I think he's at the arm there. I think that's a pretty tough call against Matt Singh.
No strip there at all. And Manson was right in front of that. But they're coming home well, aren't they? The Knights, they're really starting to get plenty of possession. See, Matt Singh's just held his arm.
Yeah, that's not a penalty.
And in straining to get through the tackle, Muir has released the football.
Game. And Cleary is put down. Mr. Cool, 30 metres away from his line. Oh, and Walker knocks on. So here comes a chance for Newcastle. Sydney City.
Well, Andrew Walker just would not give the football to the Newcastle team for the changeover. Now Dinaver a chance to put his team in front for the first time in the game.
He's very lucky that he didn't use the sin bin.
Exactly.
Well, I reckon his fellow players must be wondering what was going through his mind. They're in the big games, and this is a big game for them. You've just got to keep your mind clear and keep it positive. Now Manson having problems telling Brad Fittler to go back the 10 metres. This is an incident that may cost the Roosters the game.
Well, David Manson asked Andrew Walker to hand the football over on 3 occasions.
They're on the right end of the ground as Walker uses Barnhill. And this looks like a waste of a tackle. That's the 4th gone, and they didn't improve the football. Now they go across for Walker, who would be the man you would think about for the drop goal. A couple of kicks by him and then dived on by the ever-safe Robbie O'Davis. Pearson's lost it. Newcastle waited for that. This is what they wanted. And just into Newcastle's area. Played there by Hermanson. And they go onto the scoreboard side. Riggin working it up the centre with Barnhill. Barnhill gets it back for Brad Fittler. Fittler looked on his right, then tried to get a desperation pass away.
Some nice interchange of passing there, some good inside balls there from the Roosters.
O'Davis probably might be the exception to that, but I doubt it. Now Butterfield offloading. And is this Cochrane? Yes, it is. To the 40-metre line on the Roosters' end of the ground. They sweep it away to the right of the ground for Glanville. Holding it out, getting the pass away. And Conley it is, who goes down under the tackle of Sydney City. 32 metres away from their line. Dinaver goes back and gets it to Matthew Johns. And this is Adam Muir, pulled down by Brad Fittler. Struggling to play the ball as quickly as he can. Johns in position, running it straight at Barnhill. 5 tackles gone, 29 metres out. They go for a long-range shot. Dinaver put the dummy together, dropped off the kick, got it away for Craigie. Craigie gets it back on the inside for Dinaver. Dinaver, he's over the line. Did he get it down? We will wait. We will wait, and the referee gives the try. Leo Dinaver, 12-8.
Well, great stuff there, and Leo Dinaver and Owen Craigie leading the celebrations, and why not? Dinaver, I do think that he wanted to have a go here, but he saw that the Roosters had come through, and his players outside reacted beautifully. Owen Craigie, well, he's carved him up at times tonight, and Dinaver, he showed plenty of strength to push off Ivan Cleary and another before carrying one of the centres, Matt Singh, over the line. Good vision from Dinaver, and very good work from the Newcastle team to be back far enough so that they did have the option of running the football on the last.
Yeah, great play from Dinaver, and Craigie, he's been their best back, that's for sure. He's real chunky these days, but he's a good player. Keeps making the breaks, and Dinaver with a couple of Wally Woodbees out wide. Ordinary defence there from the Roosters.
Well, there were 3 very bad tackles in that passage of play from the Roosters. The first was Andrew.
Sydney City.
Yeah, Dinaver, he had a look. He saw that the players had rushed through. Barnhill led the charge. And that was really the tackle that set up the try, the missed tackle from Andrew Walker.
Fittler. Now turned inside by Hayden for Pearson. It's just desperate stuff now from the Roosters, and well, it might be. Played by Riggin. They've got to do something, got to pull something out of the hat. 1.5 minutes to go. The kick by Fittler. Oh, Walker's pulled it in. Then he's on his way. He's got a chase on his hands. A foot race. He gets there. It's going to be given. This is going to be some kick for goal. Who scored the try? Luke Ricketson. Ricketson's over the line.
And what a try. You call it, Rabs. How good are you calling it? They wanted something special, and they got it. Look at this. Magic stuff from Walker, and then kicks it on, and then it came down to a foot race. Ricketson was on the charge. Newcastle had to turn, and he gets there. And that's a good decision from that touch judge, in-goal judge. Well, beautiful try.
That sums up Andrew Walker, doesn't it? He's missed a tackle at the other end, and he's come up with something outrageous. Over the top of Dinova, shaped a kick. You'd have thought that Cochrane might have had enough speed in this race. He did leave fairly early to dive at the football, and we decided that it is Ricketson, the try scorer.
Yeah, well, we've got his name up in the semaphore.
Yeah, it's him, all right. He is a former centre, of course. He used his body position perfectly.
Well, now, full time has come and gone, and we have got that man, Luke Ricketson's try to be converted. The players stand back and wait. 14 in from touch, 19 out for Ivan Cleary. Hits it, he's gonna get it, he's gonna do it, yes! There it is, the equaliser. What an incredible night at Marathon. They have slogged their guts out for 80 minutes and they've gone away with half pay. 14 all. 2 tries apiece, 3 from 4 for both kickers.
Robbie, would have thought that Newcastle did enough to come away with that game after being behind 8-0 in the first half. A good comeback in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think we can be discouraged by the final score in any way. I think it's the best second half. You know, I've seen the Knights play in the career I've been here, so you know, not too many tries get scored by 2 chips, and you know, it's just probably for my own personal. I don't think, you know, the week I've had could end, you know, any better. So.
Yeah, well, not a great game really, because the Sydney City side scored right on half-time, then right on full-time, so no luck really tonight to the Newcastle Knights at their home ground.
No, there was no luck. You know, I suppose we can't give any side a start and expect to come back and win the game. Not a side like Sydney City anyway. Credit to them for you know, pulling the game away in the end and getting out with the draw. So, you know, we should have maybe tightened up before half-time and tightened up on the hooter.
And I've got to ask you, mate, how's the first week of fatherhood?
Mate, the bub's been home for two nights now, and I got a bit of sleep last night, so it wasn't too bad.
And looking forward to the rest of the World Game next week. They've picked a pretty competitive side.
Mate, yeah, very much so. They've got a really good side, so we're going to go into this game and going to be that keyed up that it's going to be one of the great tests, I should imagine.
Well, I know you'd be freezing, mate. I'm hurrying home. You're going to have a shower.
Thanks, Block.
Good on you, mate. Thanks.